Thank you so much. I just want to talk a little bit about TREX public engagement, and we're going to talk about our sharing of analog and planetary science. And I want to start with our land acknowledgement. And so I acknowledge that the Planetary Science Institute, which is headquartered in Tucson, Arizona, is on the land and territories of Indigenous peoples. Today, Arizona is home to 22 federally recognized tribes, and Tucson is home to the O'odham and Yaqui people. I do want to acknowledge all of my co-authors who have all are subject matter experts who are engaged in this work, and very excited to share what we've been up to. Just to remind everyone that TREX is, of course, one of the serving nodes, and we are all about decreasing risk for future planetary missions and focusing on airless bodies such as the moon, Martian moons, and asteroids that are coated in fine particle dust. So we'll be talking about that. And we do have 4 themes. The first 3, so we have the TREX Spectral Library. Melissa Lane will be talking about that tomorrow at this forum. We do have our lunar data sets and models led by Maria Banks, and our small body science led by Deborah Deming. But what I really want to highlight today, and what we're really excited about today, is theme 4, which is led by Eldar Noah Dobria, who will also be giving a talk tomorrow, and really talking about our autonomous rover-based science in the field and how we've been able to share that this year. And so this is Zoe. Zoe is our autonomous rover built by Carnegie Mellon and has science instruments on, and has a whole rover team we'll talk a little bit about. And so we just finished our field work, our first field season this past October here in northern Arizona. And so we had 2 field sites. One on the left is on the Hopi land outside of Tuba City, and it is truly spectacular. The site on the right is on the Babbitt's Ranch outside of Flagstaff, Arizona, and you can see lots of fun grass growing there. But also a really lovely site to do our field work on. And of course, we had our field team, which was made up of our science team in the field, as well as our rover team, and they were out in the sun every day. And our science team, which was made up of individuals that kind of simulated being in the back room in Flagstaff. So they stayed at the hotel, as well as some individuals that also stayed at home doing all of the analysis. We did test 3 scenarios in the field, and this is exciting for us to be able to share broadly as we're kind of talking to different individuals. And so the first was kind of our standard rover operations, where the science team would tell Zoe's group where we wanted Zoe to go and take lots of measurements. The second of the scenarios was Zoe picking her own pathway, so really testing that autonomous rover navigation. And then the third, super fun, you can actually see Maria Banks here. She was playing astronaut in the field. And so we had the astronaut with the semi-autonomous rover. And so really testing what it would be like to have an autonomous rover supporting an astronaut through field work. And if you want to know more about these, Eldar's talk tomorrow will give you some more insight. But of course, we wanted to be able to use all this for our public engagement effort. And so in addition to having the instruments on Zoe, we had an entire science team out there supporting. So we had measurements in the UV, visible, near infrared, mid-infrared, and an X-ray diffractometer. And so these were all scientists who went behind Zoe, taking measurements that we could use to update all of our maps. And so along with all of us in the field doing field work for 2 weeks was this wonderful videographer, Franklin Fitzgerald, who does amazing work. I cannot say enough wonderful things about him. And so you can see him in the upper right hand. And he did our interviews with our team and took drone footage and took footage of the whole team. And so we're super proud. In fact, on Thursday after lunch at the forum. We'll be showing just a piece of this. And so you can see his amazing work and the interviews that we're putting together into a larger documentary. The entire thing runs about 20 minutes. It's quite long, but it is posted right now. If you're interested on YouTube, you can get a link to it from our website. And when we're thinking about what we will be doing with this documentary, of course, I will have it on our website, hoping to distribute through NASA TV, through our connections there, and through Survey. But we're really excited about making the shorter clips. And so really thinking about different teams that we want to highlight for use in our public events and really with our classroom presentations with our school-age kids. And so thinking about our field team, our science team, our rover team, and then really highlighting our graduate students. And so we have two. You can see Madison, who's from ASU, here on the screen taking instruments, and Srini, who is from Carnegie Mellon, who is on the rover team. And so really just trying to highlight, again, student participation in the field, because we're really excited. And this is one of the things I talk about often with kids when we're out and about. I can't say enough, honestly, about the NASA Expeditions Twitter. We were able to take this over, and so shout out to Kayla in the room, but we got to take this over for a week. And we were very excited. So we took it over at the end of November. It says it's a month, but really at the end of November. And so we had a really great time doing our NASA Twitter through the NASA Expeditions. And so here's just a couple snippets. And again, anyone who's thinking about doing this, I highly encourage it. We got way broader footage in the world by doing this, and so taking this over than we have been, and super supportive team at Goddard. So we were thrilled to be a part of this, and really helped us kind of get the message out about our field work. And then, of course, we have been doing our ongoing outreach that we do kind of locally to each of our teams. And so here in Tucson, we've been doing wonderful outreach at the Tucson Boys and Girls Club, at the Desert Museum, at the Children's Museum, just really talking about the science we're doing, the autonomous rover. We do have a meteorite kit that we take. And so we're very excited about this, and we hope that you will enjoy our trailer. Going to pivot at this time and talk about a few of the things we've been doing. We have been continuing our virtual outreach public engagement. Here's one example. One of our scientists, Tom Prettyman, did Asteroid Day both last year, it's on June 30th, and this year. And so we have continued to give lots of virtual presentations across our team doing that. And what I want to end with is really highlighting two really extraordinary programs led by scientists. One of the talks coming up is by Jamie, and so she will tell you all about this, but I have to say we were incredibly thrilled to support the very first Making Space workshop that Jamie hosted here in Tucson, and it was bringing together scientists, artists, and educators in a makerspace here. And so again, she'll talk more about it and you'll see it, but we are thrilled at this collaboration. And then the last, and I know Jay is here, and so if you have any questions, Jay can talk more about this, but we're very excited to host a workshop this fall. It is a virtual workshop, which is enhancing the science communication capabilities of disabled writers, really thinking about the moon. And so this will be a TREX supported workshop that really looks at some intersectionality of science and society, and talk a little bit about this. And so it's going to be a 7-week virtual workshop for anyone who's disabled. And again, an individual can be self-identified as disabled in any way they want to be. There will be 2 virtual sessions. So we're going to be doing a Tuesday, Thursday split, and really thinking about having TREX science come in, talking about how we're going to interpret that science. And the final product will be a written piece that we will highlight on the website and at places like AGU. And so we're excited to be in here again, helping us think about more ways to be inclusive as we look at our public engagement program. And so when we think about our goals, we're really thinking about helping writers who, again, self-identify as being disabled, to get more interest and capability in space science. We want them to create a community and a supportive network. And then help us. We really want us to provide some voices to new communities to really think about all these intersectional concerns and help them help us tell our story, so that we can really think about getting our story out to a public audience in new ways. I will put a link. We are taking applications, so I'll put a link in the chat. And I kind of want to end with our own reflection from TREX. We're learning a lot related to inclusion. This is certainly a big goal of the TREX public engagement program. And I always like to think about, what are we learning? What are best practices? And so we have learned over the last 2 years how to best support students in virtual environments, and that has been really quite incredible, and we're continuing on that. But everything from providing lots of support. Sometimes we like Zoom, and now it's becoming something that's becoming really tiresome. And so we'll see. We want to, again, learn a lot about supporting disabled writers. So I'm learning lots about how to find interpreters and how to figure out other supports. And so we'll be reporting back on that. So we can definitely do some best practices. And then certainly the last, which I think many of us are dealing with every day, as we even think about being at a conference, is really working with different audiences during COVID and being mindful and respectful of the needs of everyone during this time. I do want to, of course, thank our hosts, so both the Hopi tribe and the Babbitt Ranches, for use of their lands and our field sites, and of course, letting us use all of the footage. And with that, I will say thank you and put our website up there. And so you can get more about Jamie's workshop that she's going to present, and Jay's workshop that we will be doing more on our website, as well as our documentary.